What does it take to reinvent yourself in a city where anything is possible? Is it grit, a little bit of luck, or just pure unstoppable determination? Well, a couple of weeks ago, I sat down with two incredible women who have done just that, flipping the script on their careers, taking big risks, and building thriving businesses in Dubai. First up, we have Amber Morris, a Texas girl turned Dubai business owner who went from being a trailing spouse to running a high-powered motorsports garage. If you think Fast and Furious is just a movie, wait until you hear how Amber's family lives it in real life. Then we have Nikita Devadoss, who was all set for a master's degree in the UK, but life had other plans. She landed in Dubai, found her passion for makeup artistry, and is now one of the city's most sought-after beauty experts and content creators. And both of these powerhouse women have taken big risks. They've faced major challenges, but they have proven that Dubai is a place where you can be whoever you want to be. So let's get into it. Here's my discussion with Amber and Nikita. Here today with my girls, Amber and Nikita. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
This is so exciting.
You guys, of course, you were the first two that I thought of when I told you I'm putting together this show to talk about people who have come to Dubai, started businesses, kind of, built themselves up from the ground up. So I wanted to just jump right in and get to both of your stories. So let's go with Amber first. Amber, you're from Texas. Tell us all about how you came to Dubai.
I am. I was going to turn on my Texas accent for you. Let's see how we can do. I'm from rural Texas, and we came to Dubai in 2015. I was a trailing spouse. My husband built the infamous patrol that raced down Sheikh Zayed Road ages ago, and started out as just a housewife having fun being a mom. And 2 years ago, we decided to lay down some proper roots, and we opened up our own motorsports garage. And it's just been a blessing, the best thing that's ever happened to us, honestly, as a family. It's hard, but it's ours. So it's been a lot of fun.
Now, did you know, you guys had a background in motorsports, but did you know that that's what you were going to do?
I knew it would always be part of our life because drag racing in the States is just rooted into who we are as a family. We're the family that goes and watches every Fast and Furious movie, no matter how ridiculous Ludacris is driving around in this outer space. We're still going to go watch it. But it's always going to be a part. But I think along the way of being the supportive wife, I've dabbled in all of these various skill sets. I've dabbled in yoga and photography and all these silly things to keep myself occupied, even composting. And I'm just happy that the skills that I acquired for the reason to just occupy my time have at least benefited us as a family and my husband. So yeah, it's been interesting to see how it all put together.
Amazing. And Nikita, we met because, I was having a photo shoot and you were recommended to do my makeup.
Yeah.
Tell us your story about how you came to Dubai.
So I came to Dubai in 2014. And, as you know me as a makeup artist and a content creator, but I wasn't a makeup artist when I came here. So I changed careers. I came here with my mom's business. It was not on the charts at all. I was supposed to go to the UK to do my master's. I'm Indian, so I was applying from India. And then this was just sort of the universe saying, no, that's not what you're going to do. You're going to go to Dubai. And along the way, I discovered makeup artistry. And it's been a crazy journey. I feel like I've discovered myself here, and so many amazing people. And I can't imagine now when I think back to that time, living here 10 years, I can't think of another version of me. I'm like, this is who I was always meant to be.
Love that.
You guys both have me beat because I've only been here 3 years. And I know that before I came here, I had in my mind some idea of what Dubai was going to be like. And that was just from being on vacation. So we came to Jumeirah Beach Hotel, we went on vacation. We were like, oh, it'd be nice to move here. It's totally different when you live here than when you come in on vacation. Mm-hmm. So what has sort of been different for you, if you had an idea of what Dubai was before you came here and now that you're here?
Well, I think for me, it was interesting because because Dubai was never on the cards for me. I did come, I think in 2012 with my mom, same on vacation. But it's the same. You look at this very luxe place, like everything's luxury, everything is just so shiny and amazing. And I think that like idea when I came here, was just I didn't know what to expect at all. And also, I think we have to address that Dubai has changed a lot.
Yeah.
Like it has opened up in so many ways, and it has also evolved in so many ways. So if you came here a long time ago and then you revisit it, it's a completely different place, right?
Yep.
How do you feel, Amber?
I think I have mixed feelings about the changes. I mean, some of them are super convenient. When I first got here and when you first got here, there was no Talabat or Deliveroo,
No.
and so that makes it simple. But sometimes I miss, I don't know. Sometimes I miss the rawness of
Yes.
it. I guess, and I kind of miss old school Ramadan a
And
bit.
me too. I always say that. And I think also what's interesting is I think back then, there are people who've been here way longer than I have. But I think from my experience, there was very much a touristy part of Dubai and a local / expat / people who reside here part of Dubai. I think now the lines are very blurred.
Yeah.
Now everything is extremely touristy. Everything is extremely, it's in a good way because so much is developed and grown as a city. But I remember in my mind, like it's compartmentalized. You had downtown, and now it's all sort of melted together.
Yeah, that's why I stay in the desert.
I'm the opposite. I'm right bang smack in the middle of town.
I mean, I think that's so true. I mean, for me, I've noticed just a small period of time. I haven't seen Dubai evolve, but what I thought it was going to be like, it definitely is not like that. And I think for people who watch shows like Dubai Bling and like Real Housewives of Dubai, they see all this glitz and glamour. But when you're here and you are living in the soup, it is very different.
Yeah.
It is not, you can live that lifestyle.
Yeah.
But for most people, it's not like that.
I agree. And that's what I always say to people when they ask me about Dubai. I tell them you can live any life you want there.
Yeah.
There are 1,000 lives you can live here. You can live the life that, where you go out every weekend and you're being seen places, whatever that is for you. And then you can live the life that's just like I go skating on the weekend with my friends, or I just hang out with my cat. Like there's so many lives you can live. I know moms, I know, I also know like influencers. It's the life you want to have here.
Yeah, everybody's experience is vastly different depending on a myriad of variables. But people that say they don't know how to make friends here just baffle me because there is a group for everything. There's a bee group, there's a compost group, there's a hiking group. There's so many groups that you can join and just go. Everybody's
That's
in the same boat.
Interesting. And when I first came here, I joined, meetups.com. That's a throwback.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Old
how I
school.
joined to make friends. I joined like a ladies' night group and then another group because I wanted to make a lot of female friends.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have so many avenues to do that. Back then, we didn't have social media like that. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you. I think there's a group for everything and you can always find your people.
Yeah, for sure. And that's what the diversity of this place is, never ending, just a learning opportunity. I think I'll be here with my walker. You want to push me in my wheelchair when I'm an old lady?
I'm down.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take turns because
I also heard there's like a chili in the desert sort of meetup group for that too. What is that about?
Yeah, so after my husband and I had been here about 4 years, I was kind of homesick for kind of the proper American like culture, and I feel like barbecues and smoking meat and chili is like very much rooted all across the US. And I thought it was coming up around Texas Independence Day. Did you know Texas had an Independence Day? And I thought, oh my gosh, this is the perfect opportunity, a chili cook-off. So I just made a group and I said, does anybody want to do a chili cook-off? And a few people came. The first year, it was like in 2018 or 19, about 5 families came. And this will be officially, because of the COVID years, this will be our 5th one, and since we started it. And every year it grows, and it's just old school potluck style. It's so fun.
I love that.
It's so fun. My husband and I kind of put the whole thing together, and it's fun to see how chili looks so much different across the U.S. that I did not know until I moved to Dubai of all places.
I'm gonna need
funny.
an invite to that. Like I can be honorary American for like one day.
You can just be you.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm
Don't
bringing
worry.
the diversity.
So you both are. So I use the term like entrepreneur very loosely in the sense that it's someone who takes on risks to start something, right? Mainly some way to make money. And whether you are freelancing or whether you have like a brick and mortar shop, like you still have to have grit, you still have to have resilience, you got to be on top of your game. And I wanted to talk a little bit about your journey. I'll start with Nikita, because a lot of people are here and they just came to Dubai and they're like, nope, I got to get a job. I got to get a job. I got to send out my CV to 100 people on LinkedIn. I got to do all this. But you found a way to use your skills and to be thriving doing that.
Yes. I think what worked for me is I did do the get a job, because when I came here, I did my makeup course. So I studied to become a makeup artist, and then I was freelancing for a little bit, but I was mostly assisting bigger makeup artists, because that's what you do when you start out. And then eventually I did work retail. So I would say a lot of the clients that I had, especially when I started freelancing, were clients directly from my retail work, because I built a lot of relationships, and I think I still do that well. And that's something, if you do well, you will thrive in Dubai, because there are a lot of voices. Everyone's selling you something, everyone's plugging something. So if you can build authentic relationships and you have a good work ethic, you can really build a good client base for yourself. That was my experience. So I think around COVID time is when I started. I had already, it was time, it was time for me to start freelancing. I'm a makeup artist, I was running a makeup store, and I was feeling like this is not it, and thankfully it was kind of my husband who pushed me. He said, it's time. Why don't you just do it? And if it doesn't work, you'll get a job again. And it worked out. Like I said, the relationship building and meeting amazing women and continuing to build on that connection, I think really helped a lot for me.
Good on you for your husband,
Yeah.
backing you like that.
Yeah, and it was hard for me because, it's never easy to quit your stable job. That salary just keeps you coming back. You're like, you know what? At the end of the day, every month I get an amount, so, but you feel, I think what you were talking about being an entrepreneur, there's this thing you feel in the pit of your stomach where you're like, I need to do more. I can be more than this. And I was essentially running a makeup store for someone else. So I was like, I'm not even doing as much makeup as I want to be doing. I think that I've learned as much as I can from this part of my life. So I need to, move forward. Yeah, but I'm lucky. I'm lucky that he really pushed me. He said, you've been saying it's time to, do walk the talk.
Yeah. That's amazing because happy wife, happy life, right? Like it really is true. But there's something, an added layer of it when he knows that you're passionate and really good about something and he's patting you on the back to go forward. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kind of rare in Dubai sometimes.
Right. And I'm lucky too, because girl, this makeup is, everything today.
I know. She put makeup on me in literally 5 minutes.
Great.
5 minutes,
You
like
know
a
what's
wizard.
another amazing thing? Like, you didn't even ask me this question, but I'm gonna say, like, as a makeup artist, Dubai is heaven. Every skin tone, every eye shape, every age, every ethnicity. Like, I always
that's such a good
say,
point.
if you can be a makeup artist in Dubai, you can hack it anywhere, because there's not a skin tone or an eye shape or anything that you haven't done.
Yeah. How do you feel like the loyalty is? Do you have people that keep coming back and keep
Yes.
coming back?
Yes.
It's transient and that
It's really, and
great.
most of my work is through referral, because once they trust you, like, it's your face, it's a very vulnerable
Yeah.
thing. And I try to make
true.
it usually as comfortable as possible when someone, because they're offering up their image to you. So you have to be really like cognizant of that. I think I'm really lucky to be in this profession. Like, I get to do the best job in the world.
Yeah.
it is. There's something that we were chatting before this started about how we all just felt, okay, we're like new people ready to go. It does put on a layer of confidence, but still we look like ourselves as
And you
well.
feel powerful, I think. For me also,
Yeah.
it's the same, because when it comes to content creation, the content that I do on my personal page, it's very crazy makeup. I don't want to recognize myself. I like transforming into like an alter ego, like a character,
Yeah.
And I think there's power in that. Whatever level of transformation, it's just seeing yourself in a new way always helps.
Yeah.
But I like that you showcase, because if you can do that intricate of a makeup is obviously on anyone's face, you can figure it out, because we were just looking at it out there. She's drawn these cool shapes all over her eyes. I could never.
It really is amazing. It really is.
Yeah, it's art.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feel so good now.
And Amber, so you, I mean, like this, I think your journey is a little bit different because you're in the brick and mortar space. And I think when a lot of people think about like a business, it's like hardcore, you know, we've got a motorsports shop, you know, we've got expensive vehicles coming in and doing repairs on it. And you are a woman in this very technical space where usually it's a whole bunch of bros talking about cars. Tell us about that.
Yeah. You know, I feel like we were lucky in that we had already been in Dubai for 8-9 years before we opened the business. So a lot of the people that were instantly sort of mentoring us and guiding us through the challenges that we would face and just giving advice, were already men. One of the conditions of moving to Dubai, I mean, this was 2014, you know, I said to my husband, am I going to be able to go to the races? Like, I know I'm allowed, but like, is it going to look weird that I'm the only girl there? Because I go to all of them, back in the States. And to be honest, the clientele that we have, we were lucky because we obviously already had a network in that space. But the amount of cheerleading that men have done for not only me but for my husband and just backed us has been incredible. Because a lot of our clients already own businesses, so they knew what we were going to need to prepare for. And you know, one of the most interesting stories that I have to tell about being a woman in this space is when Arab men come into the shop and they start asking me car jargon. I am humble enough to know when it's over my pay grade, right, and defer to the husband. I'm like his keeper. But at some point, you know, I thought, are they going to just bypass me? Not because they're Arab, but because they're men. Yeah. No, they literally allow me to direct and guide until it's time to hand it off. And I just respect that so much. They don't come in and look past me, beyond me. In fact, the first person and only person that has ever actually said anything that made me feel, he literally said, "Oh, because your wife did it," and it's a customer that we have a pretty good banter with. I was like, "Hey," and it wasn't an Arab; it was a Western guy. So I made sure to tell him that. Accountability, you know, but it was just really funny. So I do feel really supported. I don't feel, if anything, I feel like I'm more of a homely little housewife in the car space, because a lot of the women in the car space here are gorgeous models and influencers, and that's just not me. I'm very rugged and raw, and like I grew up a tomboy, so I'm more of a masculine role in this car world. But yeah, it's been interesting to see it firsthand, the dynamic. But I feel very supported for sure. Yeah.
I think that's a really interesting point about I think the linking like our two industries in a way. I feel like all the rooms that I felt I wouldn't be allowed into, someone gave me the key. Like maybe for me it was not always, you know, a man, but there are like, I mean, we have to address that in Dubai. There is a bit of the whole nationality, ethnicity.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, it's under the table, but it exists. And I used to always think, well, how am I going to break this? Because people will ask you, it's normal in Dubai to ask, where are you from? And then they hear Indian, and sometimes there's like, they kind of put you in a box, you know, and I'm like, you can't contain me, but you can understand someone's potential. And I think like a lot of the bigger jobs that I was lucky enough to work on, I was skilled enough and I had the ability, but someone had to give me the key, you know, like though some of them things are gate kept. And I think in Dubai, like a lot of it is really someone with power saying, yes, I love you to have access. You can come in here, you know, and then it doesn't matter, because once people trust you and they see your work, then it is merit based. But some things, you know, you do need someone to help you. So yeah, I think that does exist. And hearing your story, I was thinking about that, about how like men, they respect you, the Arab men, but they have to give you that, you know, that has to exist.
I do think that having my husband be there, maybe that gives me a different experience, and since we're a package deal. But I love the analogy that you use.
It made me think about that, because I was I always think about how I can go, you know, rise above. You want to evolve, you want to grow, you want to do more things. And I think it's not bad also for me to ask for help. Sometimes I'm so bad at asking, you know, but sometimes it's okay to ask for something where you feel like I'm ready to do that, you know?
Yeah. And I think for people who don't have like the person to open the door for them. They have to create that.
Yes.
Like you can't just sit back and be like, oh, I'm gonna wait for somebody to do this for me or to help me in some kind of way. Like you gotta build what it is that you want to experience. Otherwise, you're just gonna be sitting by the side of the road waiting. See that you like the road analogy with the motorsports?
Look at you circling it all in.
But no, I mean, I've experienced that here. Like when I came and, I thought, oh, okay, legal experience, 15 years in Asia Pacific, everyone's going to be wanting to have, this U.S. licensed attorney come in and do stuff. And it totally wasn't that in the job market. It was, do you speak Arabic? Have you been in Dubai for X amount of years? It was totally different than what I expected. And then I just said, hey, I'm going to create what I want.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you got to do what you want, what's going to make you feel fulfilled. And I think a lot of people out there are probably in a spot where they feel like, I'm not getting the support I need, or I'm not getting, the help. You just got to build it yourself.
Sometimes it's knocking on as many doors as possible. I remember when I decided that I was going to freelance, I didn't just immediately quit my job. I think I spent almost a year building my kit, deciding how I'm going to, because you can't, with makeup artistry, I have to have a kit that caters to every skin tone and skin type, etc., every look. So I literally spent a year building my kit, deciding how I was going to go ahead with it. It wasn't just one of those on a whim things. So you have to really, if you decide to do it, and then knock on as many doors as possible and just be ready to hear no. But then that's the only way. You have to look for opportunities. Just like you said, like create your own opportunities. Yeah.
And your unique approach to it is your Instagram is just fascinating to me. Like your vibe, your style. She rollerblades, roller skate. Do you call it rollerblading or roller skating?
I think roller skating because of the quad skates, and rollerblade is the other one.
The one in the line.
Yeah. It's okay. You can call it whatever.
The electric guitar playing. Oh my gosh.
When you say you're a tomboy, I literally grew up a tomboy. I have only boy cousins, and like makeup, I'm pretty sure there are people who grew up with me who are shocked that I'm a makeup artist, that I'm this, feminine girly girl, because I grew up a full tomboy. And I still say being a makeup artist is like the girliest thing about me, because I'm, full. So there's like, Dubai, I guess it's just a land of opportunity. You just never know what you can be here.
Everybody is trying to figure out a way to add value to Dubai.
Yes.
And that's my favorite part. Everyone has something to offer. So the fact that you're encouraging people to just, what are you good at? Just do it. Yeah. Find the void in the market and launch it, because we all, that is what, my husband has read almost all of Sheikh Mohammed's books, and he's like ad nauseum, that is what is in these books, like bringing the best talents, the best creatives, everything. That is what makes this place so special. So as much as I'm a country girl and a tomboy and not a big city girl, it's just the energy and the vibe of this city that I just literally, half of my heart is always, don't make me cry about that. Yeah. It's always like missing when I'm home and when I'm here, because like I always say, I was sown and planted and rooted in Texas, but I bloomed here, and it gave us opportunities that it's the Industrial Revolution, the new, I don't know what we call it these days, but there's something, they'll come up with a term for it in the future.
I agree 100%. Like I think that I can't imagine, first of all, living anywhere else. And I just think that who I truly am came out here. Like I was given all this, and also as women, like safety is another level. But it's not just, I don't think it's just safety in terms of your physical well-being. There's also a level of safety when you're going out there and like knocking on doors and trying to create opportunity. I don't think I would feel this safe anywhere else. It's like you have a safety to be brave, if that makes sense. Like it is cutthroat. I'm not denying that at all. And you do have to have a sense of like, I'm taking a risk. But at the same time, I think Dubai also in its own way, like creates opportunities for women. There's like communities. So
we naturally want to create communities, don't we?
Yes.
You got to write her down for your copy and analogies.
Exactly,
your puns.
Right?
She's so good at that.
I think something you said, Amber, really resonates with me. Like you talked about the ability to kind of like recreate yourself. And it's so funny. A few days ago, I had an old colleague reach out to me, and he says, wow, you're really doing different stuff now on social media, And I'm like, yeah, and I love it. You
Good
know,
for
and
you.
at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what other people think. You know, you'll have people from your past life or from the US, and they'll be looking in and they'll be saying, like, oh, you know, what is she doing? Oh, you know, she's no longer, you know, behind a desk practicing law. But it is a place to recreate yourself. It really is.
Yeah.
And have fun doing it. Like, just do it.
It's
Yeah.
the perfect city to reinvent yourself.
I think I don't know if I ever say this word right, living anonymously. I cannot say that word. I think I like that about here. And my family
too.
will say, you don't miss, like, you know, George at the whatever. I'm like, I have that here. It's just his name is something different, and he's at the same spot every day at my gas station, at my grocery store. The security guy at the grocery store knows my toddler might take off running, and he knows I'm his mom. You can create that same thing no matter where you're from, no matter where you move to. But since we're all in this bucket
Yeah.
here together,
Dubai is just basically like one large found family because
Yeah.
you find your community. The nice thing here is that, you know, I come from a smaller city in India and I was always a misfit. So when I came here, it was the first opportunity I had to reintroduce myself and say, what do I want? Like, who am I? What do I want to give to this world? And that found family thing, it's across the board, whether it's for me, in my example, my partner, my friends, you know, the community, my work, everything. You actually choose the people around you who get to become your extended family, your community. Whereas where you grew up, you don't really have that choice. It's just these have always been your neighbors. They've always been your, you know,
you get to build your village brick by brick.
So it's basically like a Pixar film, but real life, you know.
But for real life.
I think you have to be comfortable being vulnerable in a time where you feel like maybe you don't have to be. You could just shelter off, but I just think people that aren't willing to put themselves out there, maybe they're the ones that aren't going to survive, because you do have to build a village. You have to. You won't make it. We need it. We need a village. But the village, what I love is it's just so colorful. Right.
But you know what's interesting? I find that not everybody's village is as colorful. Like, there are people who come and they stick to their own communities. And I think the best life that you can have in Dubai, and I try to tell people this, is that when you step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah,
and you
for sure.
have friends from all over. Like, I think when you're a mom, it happens automatically because your kids make friends, you know, but there are still schools where only certain national, you know how it is. Like, Dubai
That's why I'm laughing, because we've talked about this before on camera.
I think when I see a group of actually diverse, you know, people, I realize those are all choices, because you can live an insular life in Dubai.
Yeah. Right.
You can do that with ease. It's not difficult. But I think the true joy and like the actual experience that you can have, the real Dubai experience, is when you step out and you mingle a little.
Yeah.
And you experience it so much, like diversity, like you'll never experience anywhere
It's
in your life.
incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I mean, the people here are so much more willing to share their backstory that as an American, and Jamelia, you know this, we are not taught. Somebody's always saying, do they have maps in America? I mean, sometimes, but I think the coolest thing for me as a sheltered American is learning about history that we weren't taught growing up, and just like, wow, just blows my absolute mind, because you're hearing it from people, real people, not the media, not real everyday people, and how different scenarios impacted them and their food. And we talk about food every single time, like the story of food and how it has traveled all around the world, and we have all these fusions. And that is how we always end up talking about history, is because we start talking about food.
Then you get the connection right, because the story is there.
Yeah. I mean, when I first had shawarma, I was like, this is an Arab burrito. And then I learned the story of how wheat flour got from the Levant to Mexico. It is literally, well, the OG has to be the shawarma. I don't know. Maybe that's controversial on this side of the world, but I mean, that's how we got burritos in Mexico, was
I
from
didn't
the Middle
even know
East.
That's crazy.
Oh man, I'll tell you all about it later this episode to watch.
I mean, if there's someone listening now, right? Someone who wants to move here, or is here now. There's a lot of people here now who are stuck in jobs where they feel like, man, I wish I could do something else, but I can't. Their number one problem is, how am I going to get the money to do it? what would you say to that person? I know this is a tough question to put you guys on the spot, but I talk about this a lot when I talk to people on TikTok lives and stuff, and they're like, yeah, but I don't have money. I can't, rent out a motor shop's store to be able to start my business because I don't have money now.
Yeah.
Interested to know what your thoughts might be on that.
Gosh.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think, it's never easy. There's no easy answer. I mean, there's no hack. It's not like do ABC and it's done. No, there's a journey. You have to decide what it is that you want and how badly you want it. And then there's no other answer except to save and put money aside and to find a way to do it. If you can do it part-time on the side. I remember I used to do makeup on on the weekends. If I had, I know this is technically I wasn't supposed to, but I used to do it because I remember there was a time when I was managing a store and I was not doing as much makeup as I wanted to do. So I would literally go to people's houses after my morning shift or before my evening shift at work, at retail work, and do makeup. So, you have to find a way to make it happen. I would say there's a lot of community out there. There are a lot of resources that I feel like people don't find. There are Facebook groups for women who are into business, for women, for anything that you're looking. There are resources. You don't have to hack it alone. Chances are someone else has done it. And you just have to find that community, that one person. There are a lot, I know for a fact that there are Facebook groups where you can find someone to mentor you. If you're going into business, you're trying to write a business plan, you're trying to freelance, there's a lot of information out there. So don't be afraid to reach out to someone. Just slide into someone's DMs and say, you're doing something. Help. Yeah, you're doing something that I want to be doing in 5 years or in 3 years or in 2 years. And I really need help and I don't know anyone here and I don't have any support. 9 times out of 10, they're going to help you. Yeah. I will help you. DM me if you want to be a makeup artist.
We're putting your socials under this.
DM me if you want to become a makeup artist. I will tell you, I will help you. People want to help each other. Somebody helped me.
Yeah.
And they were all amazing women who people want to see other people grow.
Succeed.
Especially women. Women will open doors for you. So don't be afraid to ask. If you see someone doing something you want to be doing, ask them and you will find your path.
And it doesn't have to necessarily be what your profession is.
No.
It's probably what your best friends, that your loyalist supporters say you're really good at, that has nothing to do with your job.
Yes.
Just go do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Amber, Nikita, thank you so much for being on the show today. And I know you guys will be part of the Real Expat community. I know you're going to be helping people who are coming to Dubai and then, people who want to get into the makeup industry as well. Thank you guys both for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much for having us. Yeah, this was so great. We should do it again.
Yes, we should. All right. Thanks.